It can help you save tons of money in taxes. Tons, like thousands of dollars. Okay, we're not talking like 50, $100. We're talking about like go from owing the government money to you getting a tax return difference. It's massive.
Bruh. It ain't gotta be like this, bruh.
This was something I wanted to do. I've seen countless people talk about it. I've had multiple of my team members reach out to me and ask me how I do things. So I am by no means a tax expert for entrepreneurs, but as an entrepreneur that has filed taxes as a small business owner for 2 tax years now, I wanted to kind of share my experience with you guys. So first off, and the biggest thing that you need to do if you're looking at truly making this even just a side hustle, you want to be able to protect yourself from, liability. So opening and filing for an LLC is my number one piece of advice. If you have not already, go ahead and do that. It depending on what state you're in, it only costs like $100, $200. It's not expensive at all. It's super cheap. And then you just have to file at the end of each year. That's all you have to do to maintain it. Super, super simple. That'll help you on being able to save even more money, as well as protect you and your brand. That LLC can protect you and your personal assets. So LLC is very important. Normally I do this type of stuff in my one-on-ones, which you can book over on Shot Call. I'm partnered over on Shot Call for gaming sessions, event sessions, all that fun stuff, tournaments. I host tournaments for my community. But I also have coaching sessions available. They're just chatting, half-hour and full-hour sessions that you can book and ask me specific questions if you are just kind of getting into the sphere and maybe need help with slob, specifically branding, think tank sessions, all that fun stuff. So back to taxes. If you have this LLC, you're able to write off quite a bit, actually. So for me, I work out of my house. I have a home office, right? I'm able to write off part of my electricity, part of my water, part of my, most of my internet, since my business is internet based, right? I can write off my cell phone. I can write off my car for when I do travel to events, like gas for those events, any travel expense. If you go to any convention or any event that you're going to use to promote your brand and network with people, it is viewed as a business trip, and you can write off all expenses as long as they're necessary. And you can Google that, what's okay. Personally, I say if you're going to kind of get into that point where you're traveling, you have pretty large expenses for your business, for your brand, as well as your setup, content creation materials, studio upgrades, anything like that, software subscriptions. If you do your own edits, your Adobe subscription, like literally anything that you have to have to make your business work, you can write off on taxes. And if you're getting to that point, I suggest getting a CPA. You can check your local listings for CPAs. I went with like a really small local CPA, and she only charges me like $200 for all of it. Like, she does my personal and my LLC. I definitely suggest looking into the extent of what you're trying to file, and if it's just a few 1099s, maybe just a couple of tax forms from like Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Twitch. Like if it's like 3 things, you're probably good to file online. If you're going to go into itemizing and getting money back from business trips, studio upgrades, stuff like that, I genuinely suggest getting a CPA, because number one, it can be very overwhelming, and number two, you want to make sure everything is done correctly, because you do not want to get audited by the IRS, right? Keep your paper receipts or email receipts. I have started, when you have the option to print or email, I get all of my email now, and I have a filing system in my email that says 2020 tax receipts, 2021 tax receipts, whatever, and they go back, and you actually have to keep these receipts for 3 years. 3 years. So if you get audited, the IRS can come in and go back 3 years. You have to have the physical receipt, whether physical or digital, but that original copy of the receipt you have to keep for 3 years. And then you can clean out your files. So file keeping is very important too. Any supplies you use, your home office, like I said, travel, car-related expenses. If you do travel, like the gas, you can actually write off part of your payment. Again, if you're going to go that far into it, into writing off a home office, writing off a vehicle, and itemizing, I definitely suggest getting a CPA. It's not expensive and it is totally worth it. Make sure if you are taking clients on, you're charging people for, say, a 3-hour stream to promote X product. Make sure you are issuing them your tax information. They'll probably prompt you for it. And if they're not asking you for that, if they're not asking you for it, they're just trying to PayPal you. Like, make sure you go into PayPal and you can swap to a business account for free. And you can issue invoices through PayPal. And that helps. If it goes through PayPal, PayPal actually has printable tax forms for you. You just print that one form. It covers everything that you put through PayPal in and out. Also, Twitch streamers, if you are getting Twitch to pay you out via PayPal, you have already paid taxes once. So make sure, again, this is where CPAs are very important. Make sure your CPA knows that Twitch has already pulled the tax out of that income that's going into PayPal, so you don't get taxed twice on it from the PayPal end. Very important. A lot of people don't know this, and if you file taxes yourself, it's an easy mistake, and you'll end up basically just paying double on that income, which sucks. We already paid enough, right? Pro tip. Obviously, you can't do anything about this now, but moving forward, looking forward to this tax year, right, for next filing, you can start saving. Go ahead and estimate, see what your tax bracket's going to be, and estimate how much income tax you're going to end up having to pay, and set that aside into a savings account each month. Especially if you're an entrepreneur and you don't have it, it doesn't pull out automatically, right? Also, talk to your CPA about writing yourself a check if you do have a profit margin at all, because that also can be taxed differently. Again, I don't 1000% know. I'm not a tax expert. I just know that this is a trick that you can talk to a CPA about, who is a tax expert, right? And it can help you save tons of money in taxes. Tons, like thousands of dollars. Okay, we're not talking like 50, $100. We're talking about like go from owing the government money to you getting a tax return difference. It's massive. Absolutely massive. And doing your taxes correctly is so important because, number one, you don't want to get in trouble, right? Our civic duty, we want to pay the taxes. We want to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. We don't want to get in any trouble. We don't want it to come back. People make honest mistakes. That is why I say a CPA is the best way to go. They're going to cover your butt for you. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have to worry about it. So, CPA. Taxes hurt my brain too, Mario. I can't do it.